1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hello. Well, I've been extremely busy, but I wasn't going to make a video actually, and I should be doing because I've not made one in a while. But I've just seen. Now I was going to make a video about GB News because I'm more listening to it in the car than anything, and I'm critical of it. But tonight at the Trick Awards, which is the TV and Radio Industry something awards, Nigel Farage won Best News Presenter or something. And GB News itself won Best, I don't know what it was, breakfast news show. I mean, I don't like awards. I'm not one for awards. I don't think, I've been up for awards. I didn't win them because I wouldn't pay the money required for the table, which you have to pay for. But I've just been sort of watching the videos around the win. And there's some mobile phone footage of Nigel getting up from his table and going for the award. Now, if you don't know who Nigel Farage is, then where have you been? He's an he was leader of UKIP, a party I don't agree with. He was the pioneer, or the driving force behind Brexit happening after David Cameron called for the referendum on it, and it won. And in that respect, he has proved himself to be pretty much an incredible orator, whatever the word is. I don't particularly rate him as a presenter because he isn't one. It takes you've got to get your legs. He did present on LBC, but I think James O'Brien objected so much that he was removed from that show, that station, LBC Radio, and then he's on GB News, and he does present a show, and he does this thing about pints with, and he does an interview where they got a pint. It's a gimmick. I don't like it. And of course, he manages to get interviews with Donald Trump. He's got he's got access to Trump, and I don't know. It's just amazing that. I don't really rate this. This is a viewer-based award, so if you don't know, there's such a thing. I don't know if this has happened for these awards, but there's such a thing as the pile-on, where all the fans trying to make a political point by piling in and voting for their leader. So if you imagine somebody who's led a political party and Brexit, everybody goes and votes for him, which of course the cast, Good Morning Britain doesn't have that. No, they're not. It's not. People aren't politically motivated to support Good Morning Britain. So I don't know. I don't know what's happened. I don't know if this is a legitimate thing, but it is a legitimate thing to be given an award by an institution like the TRIC. Is that what they're called? Trick. Anyway, let's watch the video because it's crazy. Where is it? Where are you? That'll have to do. The video, let's just run it. Look, let's watch this. So he gets up. That's the guy who's the boss. Michelle Dewberry was in the black back there in the red dress. Now look at these guys. Look at the people not clapping. This guy won't even look at him. I noticed that the GB News branding's on the tables. This guy here, he's in the spirits. People are clapping here. He stood up. Just check out the audience. This is the TV industry here, and it's such a shame on them that they're doing this. Look at them not clapping. Hold on. These guys, no clapping. Not clapping. Not clapping. This one here. Not clapping. Not clapping. He's not clapping. But will he even shake his hand? Yes? Well, respect. Here comes the award. People, they're clapping. He's shaking hands. Who's that guy? Here's your award. And Nigel makes a speech. Now,
of all the people to present me with this, my very good old friend and great broadcaster, James Whale. James
Whale,
very much.
who's not been well, from LBC.
I have to say,
Obviously, is it talk radio? I don't know.
I'm a new boy. Only been doing this for a couple of years. So a huge thanks to all those good ordinary folk who live outside the M25 for voting for me. I suspect we had the...
All right, there's the first dig, right? He's talking to people who aren't in London. And he's absolutely got a point about this. The media industry is a very city centrist. I don't know if I agree that it's just London, but cities, and it's like this all around the world. The cities tend to be more sort of liberal minded. This is political, and everything's political right now when it comes to the news, because he does make a really interesting point here about Barb, which I'm going to have to look into to see if what he's saying is true. If you're not aware what Barb is, it's you know, when you get ratings for TV shows, it all comes from something called Barb. It costs a lot of money if you want to pay, if you want to get the data. And you know, you get TV shows always bragging about, oh, we got 10 million people last night. That's all from Barb. And the way they do it is they fit these machines into like 5,000 homes and then monitor what people are watching. And they say, there you go. We can work out how many millions of people watched Emmerdale last night because there's 5,000 machines in people's homes. He makes the point that Barb is actually owned by these TV companies. So I'm not really sure what that's all about. I know advertising revenue is generated by, we've got massive ratings, so they get more. Basically, there's, if it is run by these broadcasters, if broadcasters are owning the source for the ratings, getting into conspiracy theory here, but it's possible that they're going to inflate the numbers a little bit in order for the advertising revenue. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. It doesn't sound likely. It sounds a bit too far-fetched. I would be seriously worried if we were living in a world where that happens.
Had to say,
have a look at what he says.
I very much doubt I would have won, and I'm certain that 3 GB News presenters would not have been in the shortlist of 5, which should be very instructive for the whole of the industry. You see, the investors, please do keep the abuse coming.
He's getting abused. I mean, hold on. You see, it's shocking, isn't it? This is the lovey-dovey lovies. Be nice to each other. Come on, guys. No hate. And look how they behave when things don't go their way. I mean, you shouldn't give a toss whether he wins or not. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's just a trinket. And if anything, he's exposing a problem, and they should be thanking him for it. But of course, they don't.
Well, whether they're BBC or not, I don't mind. But
it's the BBC who were booing him.
Think about this. There's a gap in the market, a massive gap in the broadcasting market. You've all become too much the same. And that's why the investors in GB News, and led by Nigel Farage and GB, have gone out there, and what we're doing is we're creating a new identity brand in British broadcasting.
All right.
When we overcome the awareness problem...
So just to flag that, people have been shouting off. This is appalling behaviour. This is not adults in a room. If you've ever been in any doubt that there are... Now, you could say, well, he's been political up on the stage. Are they not? Are the people shouting off, don't want to hear it? It all has to be buried and polite and just assume that you're obviously the same politics as us. You are getting a very clear signal that people don't like his politics. So if they don't like his politics, then they're liking someone else's politics. They're making your TV shows. They are putting the content into your homes. Now, I could criticize GB News. They say that they are all, we like to have keep talking about conversations and that. I tried to have a conversation with what's his name, Dan Wootton, and he just blocked me immediately. They're not really interested in conversation. There is an agenda to what GB News does, and it's a huge shame. They could do with getting rid of a few presenters, get rid of some of them, get better ones in, somehow get better access to archive and rebrand the whole thing. Get rid of the GB News stuff. Get rid of you put the flag in there if you want. I don't care about that. But the whole brand needs to represent itself because it was successfully tainted by activists at the start, and now that they've kind of, they're getting their chops a little bit now. They're getting their legs now, and they've got a little bit more experience now. So I think it's time to rebrand the whole channel, to be honest. Anyway, I'm waffling off on a tangent.
It's going to be a major force in
Hi,
broadcasting.
wrong camera.
I've been through this process before, of course. I led a party that was mocked and derided at lunches.
Yeah, it was a terrible party.
Went on to win a national election. And in those days, it was the polling industry who didn't understand us. Here's my one very serious point. Please take it on board. Poor old Rob can't open his eyes. He's finding it so tricky, so awkward, so difficult. This industry is worth between about 12 and 15 billion pounds every year.
This is the interesting bit.
Culturally, it matters in so many ways in our country, and yet the way we measure who is watching and who is listening to programmes is completely out of touch and out of date. I had much louder than this in the European Parliament, sir. I'm disappointed.
Rest assured, right, that when you jeer, you're just generating content, hashtags, tweets. You might be feeling better about yourself. You might be demonstrating to the people sat next to you in the table, like, oh, look, I'm just going to demonstrate that I object to him. Boo! I just said boo. It's it's so childish that you would want to do that. Booing. Just don't care. Choose not to care. Just make better shows. And let them, give them as much rope as GB News needs. If that's what your deal is. Don't embarrass yourself by booing and then expect people to regard you as a serious broadcaster, an adult. It's so unbelievably immature that this is what the industry is doing at this industry event, because normally they're used to like moi, oh, you were so amazing. And then of course if Good Morning Britain won this, that award would be prime position tomorrow morning on live on air. Look what we won, guys. I think we're going to see a lot more activism from programs and advertising to say, please come and vote for us at the Trick Awards next year, because they won't. It's same as they're doing this with Trump as well. They're going to do their level best to stop people that they don't like, political people they don't like, having any sort of success. And the more they do it, the harder they make it for themselves. It's so weird. I don't like. I mentioned that I don't like UKIP. Carl Benjamin, remember him? Google it. Carl Benjamin and UKIP. He didn't take UKIP seriously. UKIP stopped being a serious party. They weren't. I didn't like anything about UKIP particularly. I thought it was a horrible brand. And GB News is the GBN logo and the whole thing seems to be a bit of a UKIP-y type logo. I don't know. It's just. I think it's risky really putting the flag in there. I understand why it's there. You can have the flag in your animations and in your, in your branding, but putting it in the logo, I think is, and just GB News, not even UK News. It's interesting. Anyway, what else? The speech he's making is just about to get interesting. So let's watch.
The idea that
Barb. He's talking about Barb.
The advertising is set. Is owned by the existing broadcasters, means the industry is marking its own homework. The idea that 5,300 Fox...
Michelle Dewsbury shouting, "Go Nigel!"
Oh, I can hear the noise. There's a lot of money at stake.
They hate it. Look at them not clapping. Oh, look, the presenters have been told to stop him.
And you should shout, and you should be frightened, because you will lose your jobs, because I can tell you this.
She's moving in.
Bob is wrong.
She's moving in. Come here, Rob. And look at this. Look at these.
And if you cannot see,
They're going to try and drag him off.
that the way you're measuring TV ratings is out of touch, is out of date, then I feel very, very sorry.
Look at how. Sorry. It's so oh hello. It's so unbelievably shameful what we're watching here. You know, so Rob, that's Judge, whatever he is, he's like becoming a big. He all got the same agents as Philip Schofield had, Holly Willoughby, all the same agents. They're all ITV agents. And that mocking what he was saying, putting the hand on the chest. How I wanted to say despicable then, but I just sound like an old codger when I use words like that. I don't like people say I'm disgusted. It's disgusting. It's not disgusting. It's just they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. And he's absolutely slaying. Let's play it. All right. What does he say? See him like punching the air because they missed the end of the speech. Shameful. Trick Awards should take him off the stage. Is what they should do. Well, congratulations, GB News. You've won some awards, and I'm not sure. I hope it is well deserved. I'm not as au fait with your content as I should be. I'm not informed about it enough. I've been listening to a lot of it. It goes on a bit of a loop for me. I've been listening to Eamon Holmes in the morning stuff, and what I see is like really good chemistry between him and the other presenter. I don't know her name. It's just really, really good chemistry, and it's so hard to get good chemistry on the screen. And there's other areas where it just doesn't happen at all. There's another I can't remember his name either. See, they're not household names to me, but there's another afternoon presenter who's really good. He raises money for charity. I mean, I don't agree with a lot of what he says, but he's got a motor mouth, and he's just really good at doing that and talking and talking. He's not always right, but if you tell him he's not right, he's up for being criticised. There's another thing called headliners, which is comedians talking about the headlines, and that's excellent. That is really good. And I've noticed that some presenters are not associating themselves. They're not turning up for sofa chats or involving themselves in cross. They're not cross mixing the presenters, turning up on other people's shows sort of thing. So I've noticed that's happening, and that's good. It becomes very much a dirge. You don't really understand what was going on. The adverts are currently pretty poor. They're not getting massive advertisers, well-known brands. They've got a lot of hurdles to get over yet. But this is I would class them as sort of like it's definitely sort of breakthrough TV, and maybe the plan is that they're not ever they don't plan to exist forever. But they're winning awards now, and these are mainstream award ceremonies, and it's becoming in plain sight how politicized mainstream media is, even though it pretends it isn't. The mwah, the lovey-doveys, and you only really see it when people like Nigel, who's kind of like, he's not an extremist, but he's an extreme sort of end of politics in a way. I don't say he's far right or anything like that. I'm just saying that it's kind of a no holds barred approach to in your face saying what he thinks, and I like all that. And I think all sides should say that. I'm such a centrist. It's disgusting, isn't it? There, I said it. It's disgusting. Anyway, 20 minutes ramble from me on Nigel Farage and GB News winning an award. I'm back.